Oh, this is huge. We're about to remove the cab and finally find out if it actually is rust-free.
Yeah, we're going to remove the doors and the glass to try and lighten the load. The windshield molding is fragile and needs to be handled with care. As for the windshield, it's already cracked, so we just needed it out of the way without making a mess. We found a cheap removal tool on Amazon for under $50. As for the doors, the driver's door is junk, but we need to strip it for its parts.
We're also going to put the cab on our homemade rotisserie. The body work won't begin for a few weeks, so we'll want to be able to move the cab around and we can roll it easily. And that's where the rotisserie will come in. And plus, when we actually start the body work, to be able to get at the cab from all sides, it'll make life a whole lot easier.
Yeah. Welcome back to Project Get Shorty. As you can see, we've got the front clip off the truck. Everything seemed to go well. We've just got a couple of things left to disconnect. The park brake cable, and we need to spin off the nuts from the body bolts.
Yeah, and also, as you've seen, the box is off, so it's just the cab. There's the only thing left sitting on the frame. And man, have we been pleasantly surprised with the condition of this cab.
Yeah, I've never seen a floor in a cab this intact. You know, for this age of truck, it's really impressive.
Yeah, and not just is it intact, but I mean the finish on it. I mean
it shines. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a clear coat on it, and it's original. And I always assume that you know, they didn't do a clear coat when they painted these cabs. They would just spray down the base coat, and then they only clear coated the outer surfaces. But yeah, this cab floor is shiny. There's no sign of rust whatsoever. In the door sills, there is some paint flaking. There's some surface rust, but I don't think we have any perforation. So I think we're going to catch it just in time. Same with underneath the cab when we took off the running boards. Where the pinch wells are by the rockers, we notice there are more flaking and surface rust. But again, I think we can treat that. We'll clean it up really well. We'll treat it and then use some kind of rust encapsulator. And we should be ready to put some kind of a paint over it to protect that area. But the floor itself, I mean, I don't even want to put any sound deadener on it. I don't want to cover that floor up. I want to be able to, if somebody wants to lift up the carpet, then go, holy cow, this is nice, right?
Yeah, that's factory original.
Yeah, and I appreciate the advantages of sound deadener. But man, you peel that stuff off, you stick it on, you roll it on, and good luck getting that off, right?
Okay, now we're going to take the windshield wiper arm off. We're going to pry up on a tab that releases the retainer from the groove in the stud. They can be a little tricky if it hasn't been pulled open in a while. It could corrode and make it difficult to come off. We just kept working it and applying even pressure, and then ultimately we were able to get it to come off the stud. This is the tab underneath that we're prying on, and it comes out of the groove, and it should just come off the stud. Now we're going to move to the side molding on the windshield. We're going to use one of the tools we got from our kit that we got off of Amazon. We just slide it under the molding, and against the side of the windshield opening, we just draw it down slowly until you feel it engage the clip, and then you just gently rotate it and lift up on the molding at the same time. It may take a couple of shots at it to engage it properly, but just take your time and move up the windshield. We had to go back a couple of times to release the tab. Once you do that, it should come off, and then you can pull it out of the top piece of the molding. Once we took it off, we were able to see an excessive amount of sealant in the window opening. So we think this glass had been changed before, and some of the clips didn't seem fully engaged either. Now we move to the top molding. It's a two-piece molding across the top of the windshield. Same tool, same process. Just slide it gently under the molding, find the clip, and just gently rotate the tool until you feel the tab release from the molding. Once it does, you can pull that section out and off it comes. And then we'll move over to the other side of the truck, and we'll get the side molding and then the top molding. Now we're on the passenger side. We go for the side molding first. Um, just take your time with the tool. Make sure that you're fully engaging the clip. If you have to use too much effort and force on it, you're probably not on the clip properly. You're probably lifting against the stud that holds the clip. Once it's released, you want to pull the molding out from the bottom corner first, and once that's free, you can pull the molding down out of the top piece. Once that's done, you can move to the top molding. Doesn't matter which end you start from. I started from the middle, worked my way back, and some of the clips were a little tricky. You have to make sure that the flat edge of the tool is against the body of the cab, and you'll find the clips. Just rotate them gently, lift up on the molding, and with a little effort, it'll all come off. And I'm about to get hit in the head with the antenna. A little bit of situational awareness goes along. Now, we did notice on the cowl that the farmer had put on some tight mesh tape or material over the cowl vents to keep stuff from falling inside. Tree leaves, pine needles, all kinds of things find their way down into the cowl. They either just get saturated with water and they sit there and rust, or it just sits there dry and finds its way into the heater box. We do know of some instances where this material has gone into the heater box. It's extremely dry, and it has started fires. Now we're going to move on to the other windshield wiper arm. This one came off a lot easier. We decided to remove that before we took the bottom trim off. Okay, now we're going to do the bottom molding. It's a little bit different. You approach it from the end. We found a long, narrow screwdriver, got us in there. We were able to reach the clips and release them. It takes a little more effort to get these ones. You really do need to be careful because these clips are not sold separately. If you break any, you need to buy the entire molding piece along the bottom, and that'll set you back about $150 US for that. So you really do want to be careful. Some of these clips are pretty tricky. I think the other problem we were having is that a lot of the organic matter was finding its way down underneath that molding, and it was packed in pretty tight. So we had to pick away at it. Once we lifted up the molding, we were able to get in further with the screwdriver, clear away some of the debris so we could get to the clips. Again, you've really got to be careful that you don't lift too hard on the molding, because you will bend it and it will crease. So you just take your time moving across. And as we're nearing the center of the molding, it's releasing a little easier, but I think we want to stop here and shortly and move to the other side and get it from the other direction. Again, there's a lot of debris packed in there, so we just keep taking it out as we go. But it just gives you an idea of what, if that's underneath the molding, you know what's getting down into the cowl. Okay, now I've moved to the other side. Still struggling against the debris that's underneath the molding. It's making it difficult to get to the clips. Um, you just got to dig away the material that's in there. We did find a wedge that they use to set the glass. It kind of confirms our idea that the windshield had been replaced. So between the excessive sealant in the gap and all the debris under the molding, it made it difficult to get to the clips. But we just dug everything out and kept going, just prying gently as we went, trying not to lift too high on the molding. So as we move toward the center of the cab, it's becoming apparent that we need some assistance to help pry up on the molding to let us get the screwdriver underneath. And that seemed to make all the difference. We were able to reach under a little better, release the clips, and then the molding ultimately came off. You want to be careful to not pry too hard on it. Now, had this windshield been something we wanted to save, we would have been a lot more careful of, how we moved along the glass to get to the clips. But we got the molding off. It seemed to be in pretty good condition, but you can see everything that there's even strands in there from tarps that they had put over the truck at some point in time, and they were probably weather beaten and shredded, and everything finds its way under the molding and into the cowls. Okay, so you'll see that there's a lot of organic matter. This is lurking underneath the trim. Water hits the glass, runs down, it saturates this material. It's very fine. These are pine needles. They will settle in here and soak up all the water, and that's sitting against the pinch welds around the windshield. It's also getting into the cowl vents and settling into places it shouldn't be. So before we lift the glass, we're going to clean out all this organic matter. Okay, we found this windshield removal kit on Amazon for less than $50. It's fairly complete. It gives you a couple of different options, tools for removal of the windshield glass. This one here is likely the one we're going to start with and get the sides and top of the windshield. It's kind of a hook knife that you get in under the glass. There's a cable and a handle to grip it, and you just pull it along and release the glass from the adhesive. For the area along the bottom of the windshield, access is a little trickier with the dash in place. And what we'll use are these handles with a wire in between it, and we'll just feed it through and we'll just kind of, with a sawing motion, just kind of draw it along and release the glass from the glue like we did on the other sides. We don't do a lot of windshield removals yet, so we didn't want to invest a lot of money in this kit, but at first glance it looks like it's going to work for us.
Well, this has been a challenge. As Ed mentioned before, the glue is really dry and really hard. At first, we were thinking this tool's not worth anything, but a couple of tricks that Ed's been doing, he's removed all the clips and just left the little studs sticking out of the pillars to give them better access. And he also started doing shallow cuts. So he's going by lightly the first couple of passes. And then once he's got a bit of a groove worked out, then he can put the tool in all the way and try to actually cut through the glue. Another thing that he's doing is keeping the cutting blade as close to the glass as possible. That way he's only cutting really one side of the glue, as opposed to sticking it down the center between the glass and the pillar and trying to cut both sides at the same time. But progress is being made. The windshield's not surviving too well, but process is being made. Yep. Okay, we got her.
Welcome back to Project Get Shorty. Today we're going to be lifting the cab off the frame. To do that, we're going to be using our new winch, and I think things will go pretty smoothly. With that, we've got everything slung up, so let's get things going. Now you'll notice we're using slings to protect the edges of the cab, and some chain in the middle to connect things to the hook. Here we go. Okay, now we'll just go around the front and see if anything's hung up. Okay, we had to reposition the straps just because we were too heavy on the front. Things look good. We're going to try it again.
Okay, I think we're ready to roll the chassis forward.
Wow, that went surprisingly smooth. And much to our relief, the cab, the floors are virtually rust-free. That's going to save us hours of sheet metal fabrication. Getting the glass out was a bit of a bear.
True, both the windshield and the moldings required some finagling, but a little patience and understanding of the attachment clips, and you should be good to go. Up next, the powertrain removal.